Hey, on the channel from New Japan Pro Wrestling Series 2 via Super 7, we've got Takahashi. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another New Japan Pro Wrestling Series 2 unboxing and review. And today we've got Takahashi. And remember, for all your Super 7 needs, including New Japan Pro Wrestling, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. And as I always say, Super 7, best place to pick up those figures is at Big Bad Toy Store, as they do not charge you until they ship. Got to get a deal out there. So we're back again, once again, with New Japan Pro Wrestling Series 2 from Super 7. We're working our way through the entire wave, and at the end, when we do the last figure, we'll rank the entire wave from my favorite to my least favorite. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that fun stuff everybody asks you to do. Today on the channel, we've got Takahashi, another New Japan Pro Wrestling stalwart, another guy that I knew from Ring of Honor, and of course, most famously, at least for me, I believe he pinned Jushin Thunder Liger in his retirement match. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was the case. As usual, I am not super familiar with these New Japan Pro Wrestling guys, as I was an old school New Japan guy, old school being the 80s and 90s, All Japan, Big Japan, that kind of stuff out there. But I do have respect for these figures, of course, respect for the characters, and I do know him a little bit from Ring of Honor. He was in Ring of Honor for a little bit along the way. But we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it, and we'll see where it goes from there. We'll do some comparisons as well, how about? But as usual, we get those nice cardboard boxes these come in. The old King of Sports logo. Always save these, always recommended. You got to save those. You got to save them. You got to save the packaging on all your Super 7 figures. Put the parts you don't need back in them. Store them away, because if you do want to sell these one day, people are much more apt to buy Super 7 products when you have all the packaging with them. So there's a pro tip for you guys out there. Packaging wise, very similar to what we're used to. We've seen it before with some of the other ones, and we're seeing it again right here. Package uniformity is something Super 7 does a fabulous job on. On the back, you got New Japan Pro Wrestling, King of Sports. King of Sports. So then you just take this bad boy off, little slipcase cover. Voila, the magic happens off to the side. Little see you later going on. Hiromu? Is that right? Hiromu? Not totally sure, but I do know it's Takahashi, and Takahashi is in the familiar packaging here. We got all the hands we're used to. We got an extra head going on. We got some soft goods we're going to have to investigate. We're going to have to look close. And then you got the King of Sports logo. You got his name. You got the familiar packaging with the ring post right there. We know it. We love it by this point. There it is on the side. Little other side. Little action right there, of course. And on the back, we got a little bit of that old-fashioned tail of the tape. We'll read that, see what's going on there. King of Sports logo at the top, Super 7 at the very top logo. Hiromu Takahashi, 5'7.5". Oh, that half. 194 pounds, from Tokyo, Japan. The finisher, the Time Bomb. Twitter, Time Bomb 1105. Always interesting, some of these Twitter handles in these New Japan guys. But Time Bomb 1105, that's where he is sitting. The man that beat Jushin Thunder Liger in his last match. There's the lights in the background there, always cool. There you go. And then we get the old plastic prison. Very interesting here, lots to talk about. But there's the plastic prison. You see the character in there. You see his coat going on. You got all the hands you could ever want. You got the extra heads, or extra head, I should say. And there he is in the plastic prison. All right, let me crack him out of here, and we'll be back to talk a little Takahashi. All right, we got Takahashi out of the packaging, out of the old plastic prison. We'll keep that off to the side. And like I said, I save all that packaging with my Super 7 figures. But hand-wise, now we've got all the same hands again. So we're seeing a recurring theme with all these New Japan Pro Wrestling figures, as we got the hand-holding hands there for the C-grips, C-clamps, whatever you want to call them out there, to hold items. You got the old heavy metal hands. You got the old surfing hands. You got the fisted hands, which always come on the figures, I have noticed out there. And then, of course, you got the finger-pointing hands. So choose your own hand adventure out there. Hey, whatever you're looking for. And so you got that going on, and then you get down to the figure. That's what we care the most about. We're all for hands. Everybody loves a good hand, especially a fist, but we care about the figure the most. We've got two head sculpts here with Takahashi. Now, Takahashi's an interesting one. Interesting soft goods with this. I love soft goods, as you guys know. This has kind of that pleathery, plasticky, garbage bag kind of material feel to it on this nice coat. It's supposed to be like a white leather coat, so very interesting. It's got belt buckles on the sides, everything else. You can actually buckle it if you want to. You could buckle this together, which is pretty cool going on there. A little bit more of a tanner colored skin tone to Takahashi than some of the other characters we've got. But once again, this still does feel, the one gripe I always have about these, and I'm sounding like a broken record, but the face, always a little bit more glossy than I would prefer them to be. Just a little too glossy in the face, so that just takes it away from me. I hate to compare it to FTC, but that's what it reminds me of every time. A lot of different qualities from FTC. Even the jackets is very similar to what we get with FTC, at least the material-wise. This is a little bit nicer, higher-end jacket here. It does have the nice zipper feel to it. It does not have a zipper to zip it, but it has that zipper feel. If you guys know a zipper, I'm sure you zipped a coat up in your life somewhere. But a nice jacket here. I really do like this jacket. I'm going to take this jacket off him now. Theoretically, you could use this with other characters out there if you wanted to. Choose your own adventure with this jacket, but a beautiful, nice, soft goods jacket here. And then we get down to the body. We get down to what is going on here with Takahashi. And I do like the skin tones on this one. Not terrible. Uh-oh. Waist is not moving. Ooh, that was scary. Had to crack it a little bit. There's some paint stopping it from being centered, but I do have that fixed. Now, first thing I noticed too is this hand is a little bit loose, a lot looser than I would like. And usually once you unplug these and put new ones in, they're all going to be even looser and looser. So that is a little quality error there. Articulation is the same as all the other ones we've talked about. Single jointed elbows, single jointed knees, bicep swivel. The hands are removable, head removable. You do have an ab crunch that seems, this one goes more forward than back. Like we saw with some of the other ones went more back. This one actually goes more forward. You got you got the waist articulation here. And then, of course, the legs can do the split. The legs can go up and down, all around, all that kind of stuff. Beautiful, tight details on here. All kinds of different graphics going on. Different colors. Not the easiest colors to match up here. Very all over the place. Then he has these fur boots going on here. Like a young Bruiser Brody out there. But he's got nice fur boots that have different colors to them. Nice pink soles on his feet, which really clash with the black, you can really tell. And then if you look underneath these fur boots, you can see the green. I do got a little bit of overspray on green though, where they messed up and came over a little bit, but that is pretty nitpicky out there. I already talked about the head. It is a good head sculpt. It definitely looks like him. I say one of those things, you take a picture of somebody and you take the head off, say, who is this? You should, if you know who Takahashi is, you'll know who this character is. So that is good. But just a little bit glossier, but not as bad as some of the other ones out there. And then at the end, you have his red tips on his hair, so he did dye his hair and has that on here. So it's all right. This is actually one of the better specimens. Yeah, we're going to call it a specimen here. One of the better Super 7 figures as far as human characters. I've said it before, and like I said, I'm a broken record, but it does look a little too high gloss to me. But this one does look better than some of the other ones out there. We do have a second head for him, and no way in a million years would I ever use this head, as it's just a little bit weird. He's got his tongue kind of outside of his mouth, doing one of these, looking like a young Festus, waiting for the ring bell to ring is what he looks like there. So I don't know if he does that a lot. Like I said, I don't know the character enough, but this is not for me, this head sculpt. But maybe it's for you. Maybe you like goofy expressions. Maybe you like some of that going on there. But for me, I'm going to keep the head that is already on him. So this Takahashi figure is pretty solid. He's got the forearm wrist tape going on, and then he's just got wrist tape on this one. So they got the real minute details of him, and then the jacket is pretty nice. Even though it does feel a little garbage baggy at times, it is still a very, very nice jacket. Comparing him to some other people, I know he had some matches against old Will Ospreay back in the day, so they are obviously in the same line, same series, Series 1, Series 2, New Japan Super 7 figures, so you do have Will Ospreay if you want to square those two off or display them together. And then as we talked about earlier, one of my all-time favorites, Jushin Thunder Liger. Not the best scaling, of course. This is a Storm figure, this Jushin Thunder Liger here. But a beautiful, beautiful figure, the Storm figure. I absolutely love the Storm figures. But Takahashi, pretty solid. I like this one. I think he is not going to be in the cellar of my final list at the end of the week when we rank him from best to worst. It's just very interesting. Very interesting dynamic here with this set, and that's where I sit on that one. But where do you guys sit? What do you think about Takahashi? Are you here for it? Do you pick it up? You passing on it? Are you a big fan? Anything I missed on his career? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell as we're unboxing all the New Japan figures, so you don't want to miss how they rank out at the end of the week. SirPaul64 on Twitter is where you're going to find me. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And, of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for our boy Takahashi and his white jacket, I am Kyle. I will see you guys all real soon.